Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite Ravens YouTube channel and podcast. Talking Ravens all day, every day from your host, Justin P., and my MVP co host, Miss Shannon Finch. This is episode 104 for the YouTube channel, and for the audio version, season 5, episode 12. Check that out, and all the audio links right there in the description. And also, right underneath that is myself, Shannon, and Dave's social media platforms where you can follow us at. You know what I'm about to say. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share the content. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Shannon has some great topics for us. You know what I mean? What a great divisional round game. Without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and let Shannon go ahead and lead the way.
All right. So, like we normally do, when we recap the games, we're going to start off with the good, bad, and ugly in the divisional round. So, what do you have for your good, bad, and ugly?
The good, our defense played amazing. I mean, it just played amazing. Uh, 3 points. I mean, remember Stroud just picked apart the Browns defense, who were number one supposedly on the top,
Mm-hmm.
a top put this a top two defense, and just put and hung 30 something points on them because I know they threw two pick sixes, but they still put up 30 something points on them. He didn't look like a rookie out there. We played us, man. You really couldn't do much outside of a few a few errors, which we knew were going to happen because the rust and all that. Like I was telling people beside me, like, you got to relax. No need to jump out your seats because they ain't played football in 2 weeks. So they had to get their
Mm-hmm.
things together. And once they settled down, it was like they had 50 yards the second half. So definitely defense. Lamar. I mean, like I said, I know the first half was like I said, a little touch and go. Once he he rallied the troops like you said, Shan. He must have been hearing you because he did what you wanted him to do. He held everybody accountable. He started, he choosing folks out, and then they got the rolling. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah Likely, and all the running backs. I mean, and the running backs, all of them look good. And then Zay Flowers. So that's my good and bad. Couple missed tackles, couple blown assignments, but nothing too bad. A couple missed blocks because they were killing us blitzing early, but like I said, in the second half we got it together. So that'll be only bad. A couple of silly penalties. The ugly was probably the punt return. Like Malik had the kid wrapped up, let him go, and that's about it. And it wasn't a
Mm-hmm.
whole lot.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. My good, I have the defense. Anytime you can keep a hot offense like that from scoring, you did your job that day. The coaching adjustments. I mean, I think we were all probably like the first half, like, oh my God, here we go, because we felt like we should have been further along than we were. But what we could tell from the second half, they made adjustments and it showed offensively, especially. Lamar. Lamar put the team on his back. You said it. You said, you know how I felt about what I wanted from anybody on this offense, and I'm happy that it's Lamar that's taking that stance to be that leader. We don't win this game without his performance in the second half of that game for sure. What I always say about Lamar is he don't have to be like everybody else, but just be yourself. Be the special guy that you are. And again on Sunday, he just showed how special he really is. And lastly, I want to say the fans. I feel like the fans showed up and showed out. The false starts that the Houston had. A lot of fans were worried about ticket sales because they were looking at what was still available and thinking people weren't going to be there. And I was telling my family, like, I don't understand why everybody's so worried about that. Like, we don't have stadiums or games where it's just completely empty or another team just overtakes us. Like, they're going to be fine. And I feel like the fans did a great job in being a 12th man on Saturday because it was tough for Houston. The bad I have the offense. I mean, if the defense didn't do what they did, it could have been a lot worse. Considering that I don't remember if they missed their field goal in the first half or the second half, but
It was the
I'm
second
just
half. Yeah, it was the second half. It was the coming out in the third quarter, I believe.
cool. So I'm just glad that the defense was able to do what they did after the special teams allowed a touchdown to keep it close like that. That let us not get too down on ourselves, and we knew we could have been better, and we did that. In the second half. And also, like I just mentioned, special teams. Allowing that touchdown, unacceptable. Those games like that, plays like that, that can be momentum shifters, and I'm glad that it wasn't. But like I had to tell a Ravens fan in a group this week who was I made a post about the defense, and they commented and said, well, a touchdown got scored somehow. I don't know if they weren't watching the game or to know like how that touchdown happened, but you can't allow stuff like that to happen. And I don't have any ugly this week. I really do feel like if I came up with an ugly, it would be nitpicking. Like you said, it really wasn't a whole lot bad. The bad was in the offense first half, but they fixed it. Defense did what they had to do. Special teams, even though I think that was bad about giving up the touchdown, it wasn't completely, devastating for us. So that's my good,
Mm-hmm.
bad, and ugly for the divisional round.
Okay.
All right, so let's get into the position grades. What grade do you give the coaches for their efforts?
They get an A. Like I said, you know, it would have been a little A plus. Like I said, special teams. Like they gave up, that kick, the punt return, but Duvernay came back with a great punt return. I mean, not punt return. I'm sorry, kick return to get us, and like I said, to get us rolling. So that kind of even the playing, even the scales for our special team. But offensively, like I said, we put up 34 points. Like I said, yeah, yes, the first half it was a little touch. It was a little touch and go. It was, like I said, that was more so I'm gonna you say rust, even though I hate using the word. I was a little rust. Like I said, they haven't played in 3 weeks. Basically, you think about it. But once they got that knocked out, they came and was rolling. Lamar was great. So the defense, like you said, was in the Houston 2 games against the Ravens. They only put up 19 points. So it was like that speaks for itself. So Monken did his job, gave us 30 points, and McDonald did his job and only allowed 3 points. Hardball. He didn't have no costly timeouts or costly challenges. So yeah, they get an A.
Yeah, I'll give them an A as well. And it could have been an A plus if not for the touchdown given up on special teams. And even though that's more of an effort for the players and not the coaches, that still happened on their watch. And also the adjustments. I feel like sometimes you can make adjustments faster than halftime because when I was watching the game with my family, we were saying the whole time like they need to get some help in there. They need to get some help with blocking because early on, I mean, they were getting after Lamar, making him uncomfortable, sacking him. I felt like he was starting to get frustrated. And going into halftime, I was saying to my family like they need to, bring in some tight end help, put Ricard in, like do something different in the second half. And we got to see that in the second half. Particularly outside of that, Lamar was getting the ball out of his hands faster as well. So it could have been higher if not for those little, things, but they didn't do a bad job. So they get an A from me.
Okay,
And
we're on the
what
same
grade do
page.
you, yeah, what grade do you give Lamar?
Definitely an A. Like I said, had the first half been a little better, could have been A plus. But 252 total yards, and he counted for all 4 touchdowns. So 150 in the air, 100 on the ground. So yeah, it's like he played a flawless game with 16 of 22, no interceptions, no fumbles. A.
Yep, I agree. I struggled with whether or not I wanted to go A plus or A, and only because I was like, Lamar played a really good game. Like if it wasn't for his play, I don't know that we
Mm-hmm.
would have won that game because the offense was just like not doing anything, not doing what it needed to do in the first half. But for me, like
Mm-hmm.
I've never really been big on stats. Like I always say that I'm not big on stats. I feel like stats tell half the tale. So like you'll have
Yeah.
some fans who'll be mad that Lamar only threw for was it 150? For me, I'm not mad about something like that. If you can throw for 150 yards and be as accurate as you were, particularly on most passes, make majority of your completions, his passer rating wasn't bad. I believe that was 100 and something. And then you top that with 100 rushing yards and you scored 2 touchdowns and you had 2 passing. I don't know what more you could want from a quarterback. We talk about
Facts.
we talk about the Jackson 5. I honestly don't care how the Jackson 5 comes. If he passing it or throwing it, I'm good with all the touchdowns. So the
Mm.
only reason why it's not an A plus is because I feel like we could have been better in the first half. If we would have made that adjustment of like him getting the ball out faster, it could have been different early on. But I'm just glad the adjustments was made and Lamar he started cooking. It was nothing they could do with him in the second half.
Yeah, and we got to give some credit to Houston. We can't just say it was all just us. The people wasn't going to just roll over and play dead. So they just came off a good playoff win, a dominant playoff win. So they were going to give some resistance. So we do got to give D'Amico Ryans and his staff and those players some credit. They will come in and make us work for it a little bit.
You're right. And but you know what though? You know how we talked about like Monken being in the booth and how we feel about that. One reason why I think that him being on the field would be beneficial is because you don't have to wait until halftime to say things like that. Like from what we
Mhm.
know, Lamar went in at halftime and he voiced his opinion. If we're all on the sideline and we're talking, I feel like those changes can be made at that point in the first quarter or in the second quarter, not necessarily having to wait until halftime to have those discussions. But again, no, yeah, you're
Mhm.
right. Houston showed up. Houston made it a game early on. It's just that once we adjusted, it was nothing they could do with us at that point.
Absolutely.
All right, so what grade did you give the running backs?
Oh, they get an A, man. They get an A. Like I said, all things considered, Gus was running hard. Justice Hill did his thing. Cook came in, gave us some good yards. So, they did whatever they did. What they did what they was asked. They caught the ball at the backfield pretty well. Blocked pretty well. So they get an
I give them an A as well. They've been doing what they've been doing all year. Guys in and out the lineup, coming in, having to share the ball. Justice Hill had his best game. I don't know if they said of his career or of the season. I think it said it's his career with as many. He had but 60 something yards. I can't remember. I don't have the numbers in front of me. But yeah, they had a
A.
great day. They did what they needed to do. Like as much as we have been saying we would like them to feature a back, these backs are doing their job. And then you add in Dalvin Cook, that was great. I mean, they did a good job. They get an A. So what grade do you
Agreed.
give the offensive line?
Uh, they get a B plus. It could have been higher, but they gave up a couple sacks first half. Lamar got pressured. Second half they played much better, so I'll give them a B plus.
I gave them a B. For everything you just said. I just felt like they could have been better early on. I was worried about Lamar, particularly getting hurt. That's been our issue the
Hmm.
past couple of years. But Ronnie Stanley, he had a game. That was like his
Yeah,
best game this season, per the stats. Like I said, I don't like talking about stats, but I want to give him a shout out because a lot of us fans, people have been questioning him and what his future will be on the team. And he's a guy that's been around for a while. So I'm happy for him in this big moment. He did a good job. He did a good job. So I give him a B as well. Well, a B. You give him a B plus. And what grade do you give the wide receivers and tight ends?
I'll give them an A. Like I said, because there wasn't a whole lot of yards like to be had. So within that time, within that frame and skip the of the how the game's going, they made plays. Zabe made plays. Aguilar scored. Likely got a touchdown. Bateman stepped up. So yeah, I gotta give him. Gotta give him an A. Like I said, the yards might not be there, but nobody dropped no passes. Everybody caught the ball. Everybody got open when their numbers called.
I gave him a B plus, and the reason why it's a B plus is I feel like nobody had like a wild day. Like nobody did anything, um, yards wise that was like over the top, amazing type of things. But like you said, they made the plays when they needed to make them, and we scored 2 touchdowns. So you can never complain about scoring touchdowns. So I give him a B plus. All right, so let's move over to the defense.
Not too far
What
off.
Yeah, what grade do you give the defensive line?
I give him an A plus. I know the sacks weren't there, and I get that. So somebody, if you want to over there and get some chance, that's perfectly fine. But me, they got CJ Stroud off his spot, which was big. He made him uncomfortable. Getting pressure sometimes is just as good as getting a sack. And they would stop the run pretty well. Singletary was getting yards. We've seen him get Cleveland. He was running crazy. We kept him in check. And Damian Paris, all so yeah, they get an A plus.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that grade. I gave them an A. And I'm not holding it against them that they didn't get any sacks because I mean they were there. They were making it uncomfortable. Most importantly, they did basically make the run game non-existent. So only reason why I wouldn't give them an A plus for me, not holding it against them, but holding it against them. We didn't get a sack in the front, but ultimately we did our job. So I'm not mad at them or down on them at all. So I give them an A. And what grade
Okay,
do you give the
that's not bad.
linebackers?
They get an A plus. They was coming up tackling the run game. Like I said, we only gave up a total 177 yards of offense. So it was like they didn't give up hardly anything. Uh, They were making tackles. When Schultz cut quarters, couple passes, they were there making plays. They were getting pressure, forcing Stroud off his spot, hitting them. So they get an A+.
And I'm giving them an A, basically for the same reasons that I just said for the defensive line. I don't think anybody had a bad day, but I do think that when you are a team that leads the leagues in sacks, it's kind of like we could have got one at some point, but I'm not down on them about it because we were getting there. We did make it uncomfortable for them, for Stroud, and we did make the run game, like I said, non-existent. Would have been an A+ if we had the sacks, because like I said, those we going to probably need some of those on Sunday. But I'm not mad at them, not down on them. It wasn't a
For
bad
sure.
day. The linebackers, they led the team with tackles. They did their job, so I give them an A. And what grade do you give the DBs, the secondary?
A+. Only 170 yards passing, no touchdowns. Like I said, it was a couple of little Pat. Y'all playing in the secondary, you're gonna give up certain stuff. Nobody's gonna hold nobody 0 yards passing. It's not gonna happen. Never ever. Never
Mm-hmm.
ever. Unless a 12-year-old play. Unless a 12-year-old got to come in and play quarterback. But yeah, they did their thing. Nico had a couple little catches, but they got together. They were breaking up passes. Valet was coming off the edge, getting pressure. Ronald Darby did his thing, man. Cal and Marcus, they was phenomenal. So yeah, I give them an A+.
I give them an A+ as well. We've been high on the secondary all season. Um, Considering the fact it's the playoffs, most of us will wanted to have Marlon Humphrey there, but I don't think any of us were concerned with him not being there because we've seen these guys do it all season. In and out the lineup didn't matter who was back there, and they did the same thing on Saturday. And when you don't give up a touchdown, like that's my whole thing about the defense. Even with me saying I wish we could have got a sack, I can't be mad about anything defensively because we didn't give up a touchdown. Like that really doesn't happen a lot in the NFL. And when you're playing a team like that who's capable of scoring, and when you've seen them do it against defenses that people say are good, you know what I mean? So overall, the defense had a great day, but I'll give the secondary a A+. And then lastly, what grade do you give special teams?
A C+. For one for that punt return, it would have been a little higher. Duvernay kickoff return made it a little, made it a little better, but C+.
Hmm. I gave them a B-, and that's basically the B-, C+, kind of the same grade almost, grade on a curve. And it's with everything you just said. I agree. I mean, like I said earlier, that touchdown could have been momentum changing. You know what I mean? And it wasn't. So because it happened, we got to hold them accountable for it. But overall, they did what they needed to do on Saturday. All right, so
Mhm.
let's get into some topics now. So I know you probably saw all of the reports and the different things in the press conference after the game. When Lamar was asked like what happened or who did the most talking during the locker room at halftime, he patted his chest and said he did. And then we find out that he had a fiery talk at halftime to the team, and he said it was like inappropriate. It wouldn't have been appropriate for him to say what he said publicly to the team at halftime. So, what do you think about Lamar's fiery halftime talk?
It was obviously needed because, like you said, they were rusty, kind of lackluster first half, and he like this is not us. He like, and it's not us. We're not playing Raven football, so we gotta it's either that or we're gonna be sitting home again. With the people question, oh, can this team ever win in the playoffs? So and
Hmm.
he knew the criticism would have been outrageous had they not finished and won. So he like, come on, man, we gotta step this shit up. I don't know if that's exact words, but I'm sure it was something along those
Hmm.
lines. So yeah, it was needed. Your quarterback always gotta fire the troops. Everything not gonna always be peaches and cream, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, Lamar did what needed to be done, man. He lit a fire and it worked.
He sure did. And as you mentioned, I've been on their back all season about, wanting a leader and say, like I said, I felt like that Steelers game could have been different if somebody would have just said, calm down. We got this. We can still win this game. Everybody was just like I called
Right.
it performative anger. I don't like stuff like that. I don't. I feel like Lamar was really, really ticked off on Saturday. Like you could tell he was ticked off. It wasn't any throwing no helmets. I knew he walked in that locker room angry, and to hear that he was the one that spoke and basically told the team like, we got to get this done. I love it. I love it because that's the guy that we have. What we know for sure is going to be leading our franchise for the next 5 years, 4 years, however how many years it is with that contract. And on top of that, is like you said, Lamar knows that if we lose on Sunday, or if we lose in the Super Bowl, it's going to be more talk about him than anything else. You know what I mean? And he understands that. He understands what the narrative has been this season. We saw shows like First Take questioning whether or not he's proving that he was worth that money, or however they worded it that particular week. So Lamar knows what's at stake. And I feel like Saturday he was like, we can't let this slip away. We can't. And when you have a person that doesn't normally like speak often, like they might joke around and talk and be like, I think he's cool with everybody on his team. I don't think Lamar's always the one speaking up saying, like, this is what we need to do. Da-da-da. But Saturday, he was that guy when we needed him to be that guy. And I loved it. When I heard that he said something and it was so inappropriate that he couldn't say it publicly, I was like, yeah, that's what I want to hear. I was all for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So the next topic we have is so we went into the game last week without some guys. We found out Mark Andrews wasn't going to play, Marlon Humphrey wasn't going to play, and these are two guys that have been, probably our best players on the offense and defense over the past couple of years since Marlon's been here and groomed to what he's become. We know what Mark Andrews is, top 3, top 2 tight end in the league. It's a possibility that they could play on Sunday. So do you think they will play Sunday, Marlon Humphrey and Mark Andrews?
I know Marlon Humphrey will play because his injury wasn't as bad as Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews basically missed a lot of time. He ain't played since what, October? I want to say November.
Late
Yeah, November.
November, yeah.
So he's been out for some time. Yeah, because the Thursday night game. Yep, that was on November. I remember. Yes, well, actually, that was actually it was November because it was a week for Thanksgiving. Yep. So Marlon Humphrey, he just he played against he played against the Dolphins. I'm not sure. No, he didn't. But he'll be okay. I think he'll play. He'll suit up. But Andrews is a 50-50. On Mark, he probably want to play because, like I said, he wants to be in the moment. But if what's going to show, we can keep rocking with Likely and Kolar. And I know in the Super Bowl he'll play for sure because he like, man, I'm not missing this. He said he be like, if I get hurt again, I got 8 months, 7 months to get back right. So because you never know when you're going to make it back to a Super Bowl. So he definitely going to play in the Super Bowl. If I can guarantee you, all doctors and all that stuff goes out the window. See what T.O. did, Thomas Davis did with a broken arm. They like because it's like it's not guaranteed. So Mark going to get up there. If you got to tape this joint up, whatever, brace, or he got to be like Gronk or whatever. He going to play in the Super Bowl. I know that. But Sunday, it all depends. He may want to give it a go. Just to have some extra firepower. But I think Marlon Humphrey for sure going to play because we're probably going to need him in some aspects.
I feel like with Mark Andrews, he practiced once or twice last week, and they were talking about whether or not he was going to play. And his press conference made me feel like I don't think he's going to play just based on what he said. Now I said last week that if he can practice all week long, full participant, no issues, no setbacks, yes, I want Mark Andrews out there because the Chiefs, man, we know what they are. We've seen them for the past 6 years of Pat Mahomes back there. This is a team where if you can have all your dugs out there, line them up, right? But for me, it's more or less like how he gets through practice. Because if he has any setbacks, then it's like, no, just wait until the Super Bowl, right? But ultimately, I just feel like he can't hurt being out there. Like it's Mark Andrews, it's Mark Andrews, and I'm pretty sure that him also being here since Lamar's been here. He's never played in the AFC Championship before. He's never had a chance to possibly punch his ticket to go to the Super Bowl. So he might want to play on Sunday. I don't know. I just feel like it depends on how this week goes. If he's having issues after practice, things hurting or aching, then maybe you go on and let him sit out. Because like you said, if we win it, we go to the Super Bowl. I know for sure he's going to play then. I know he's probably not going to sit out for that. And with Marlon Humphrey, I feel the same way. Like Marlon Humphrey has been here for quite a few years. He's been through some down times. We've had a lot of disappointments. He's one of those guys who I feel like just like you know how you say like guys deserve certain things. I feel like Marlon is one of those guys. Like he deserves to be out there to help this team punch his ticket to the Super Bowl. My only thing about Marlon is I believe what is his injury? A calf injury?
I'm not
Is
too
that what his
sure. I don't
injury
want to get the
is?
line. I'm not too sure. I'm about to look it up. I want to say it's
It's like
something in the lower body.
yeah, like stuff like that is just so tricky because it's like a hamstring. You know what I mean? Like you get out there,
Hmm.
you might feel like you're fine, you do one thing and ow, now you're back in the same situation you were in. So to answer the question, I don't know if Mark Andrews will play because again, I would have to see how it goes this week with practice and if he practices and if he has any setbacks and things like that. But with Marlon Humphrey, I kind of do feel like he'll be out there. I feel like he's going to want to be out there. Like I said, remember what he said a couple of years ago, like our identity is choking in the playoffs. So you don't think that he wants to be there to really, really help us punch the ticket to the Super Bowl? Yeah, like I think I can see Marlon Humphrey playing more than Mark Andrews, but I'm not against Mark Andrews playing
Hmm.
if he's cleared to go, if he has no setbacks, he can't hurt. The good thing about it is because we do have someone like Likely and other guys who can make plays, we don't have to really like force him out there. He doesn't even have to start. You know what I mean? Like you might have him activated, you might put him out there for a play or two, put him in a red zone. Think like what Dane was saying last week about how we could use him if he played last week. But I just don't want to rush Mark Andrews. I really, really don't. And with the injury that he had, it's tough. It's tough. Like I just wouldn't want him to really, really hurt himself any further. And then this issue is going into next season because we've dealt with that with other players like Bateman before. What do you say? I think Marlon
Yeah,
will play a
Bateman,
limited role.
J.K., etc.
Yeah, we've been there
Yeah.
before.
How you doing, Mr. Gary? Gary Ramos. Yeah, he said I think Marlon will play a limited role. That's possibly he might. Yeah, he might because
Yeah,
like you said, our DB's been pretty
we've been
good. So
playing
you're right.
well.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
He can come play in the slot if need be and take away Sky Moore, Rasheed Rice, whoever. But yeah.
And actually, that's what if
Oh
they're gonna
man,
play
that's
him, if they're gonna play him, that's where they need to put him at in a slot. Like I wouldn't even put him out there. It brings back memories of that Steelers game when they left him on an island, and that Steelers game was his first game back, and I think it was Pickens, whoever that
yeah.
was when the Steelers that scored that
Yeah,
touchdown.
It was George. It was George Pickens.
Yeah, don't do that again to
Yeah,
Mullen.
it
His first
definitely was
game back.
George.
All right,
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
got one
Let
more
him. Yeah, you're
topic.
right. Let him cover in the slot.
All right, this is our last
Go
topic
ahead.
for tonight. So, the Ravens have appeared, and I think this will be our fifth AFC Championship game. Just counting back to our first being in 2000, right?
2000,
Fifth.
2008.
This will be our fifth one,
Yes, it'd be fifth. Yep. Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, with the Ravens having their fifth AFC Championship appearance, this is the first time we're hosting the AFC Championship. So, how do you feel about that?
Oh man, it's always good to do something in for the first time in franchise history. Like I said, particularly remember we didn't do well with home playoff games. Remember 2006, we were number two seed, had home field advantage.
Mm-hmm.
If the one seed lost to the Colts heartbreaker. Same thing in 2019, number one
19.
seed lost. Yep. And this time we broke the mold. We won. Now we get to host the AFC Championship game. The bank is going to be rocking, even though the prices are sky high. But the bank is still going to be rocking. Still going to be full of purple. Taylor Swift going to be real sad come Sunday because it's like we're losing is not an option, man. Like it's just the place is going to be on fire, man. Like the tailgates are going to be. I might just want to go down there and tailgate just to be around the energy. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm debating on that because the weather's going to be fairly nice. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome, man. It's real big. Like I said, everybody's going to be tuned in. Everybody's going to be For those who can't go to the game, like everybody gonna be somewhere. We want to watch it. Like it's just at 3 o'clock, the whole sound's gonna be shut down. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
the whole town's gonna be shut down. Everybody gonna be tuned into the game. So, and so you better get what you get by 3 o'clock. So yeah, because after that, it's every ball gonna be packed. Every a little lounge gonna be packed. I ain't lying. It's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
pandemonium, and I love it. And I can't wait. Sunday can't get here quick enough.
I agree with everything you just said. I mean, the city needs this. You know what I mean? Like I remember how the city was when we won and with the 2012 season. I mean, it was just like wow, like amazing energy with when a parade happened and people were trying to climb over the gates just to get in the stadium, just be around this team. It's feeling like the same type of vibes that we had back then. It's just exciting, man. Like I don't know. I feel like other times that we've been in the AFC Championship, like you kind of be like, I don't know if you're gonna win on a roll, because it's kind of like you play the Steelers and you got to play New England. We play Oakland and Oakland. It's kind of like you be like 50-50 when you're playing on the road, right? But when you're home and you're this close to the Super Bowl, something that a lot of these guys want, something that Lamar has been talking about since the day he got drafted. Oh, it's just going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing for everybody. And I feel like the energy that we saw on Saturday is going to be that times 100 because I feel like every Raven great that you can think of, if they're able, is going to be here. Like I know Terrell Suggs said he was already coming. I'm pretty sure Ray Lewis is going to be here. I
That's
really
without
do hope
question.
that I really do hope that I hope that Ed Reed can come. I
I'm a,
just
I'm
want
a. He's gonna go. He gonna come. He ain't missing that. I can bet my bottom down. He not gonna miss that.
I just want everybody who's ever been a Raven who knows what it's like to get to this point, to just be here to witness this. And the fact that if we do win and we get to, hold up that AFC championship trophy, we get to do it in front of our fans for once. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be
I
amazing.
don't know if you. I don't know if you heard with Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp said he want to come too. He said
He
even though everybody
should.
know everybody. He said even though everybody know he love Mahomes. He said, but he won a Super Bowl with us. He said he riding with us.
He
He said
should.
he ride. What he said
Because
he go. He
because
go.
we don't win a championship in 2000 without Shannon Sharp. You know what I mean? So come
Absolutely
on. Let's go.
big play Shay Sharp. Absolutely.
Let's
Absolutely.
come
He
on.
said
Come to
he said
town.
he actually said he want to be the legend of the game. So I don't know. That might be a surprise for us.
Look, it's so many people that I feel like this is a game where you let a lot of people, and we don't even need to have one legend because
No,
it's
I
so many
agree.
people that's
I
going to,
agree.
you know what I mean? Like I bring
You
all
let
of
a
them
all
come
come
out.
up with the shield. I'm sure they got enough
Yeah.
shields. I'm sure they got enough shields to go around.
Like let Suggs come out wearing that mask that he got the fine for. Like let everybody come out.
Let Ray do the
Let Ray
dance,
Lewis
the
do his
whole
dance.
nine.
Scott, let's do it.
Oh
We don't know.
yeah, I ain't
We
gonna
don't.
lie.
We don't know when we gonna host it again. So we gotta turn up.
Absolutely. Yeah, I might sneak in this motherfucker some way somehow Sunday. I might say, hey, I'll come mop the floor or something. I don't know. I'll work it all. You feel me, Shannon? Shannon, man, you
Right.
might gotta go wash some dishes or something. Fuck it. I mean, whatever.
It's gonna be
I'm
so
down
fun.
for whatever, family. I don't give a shit. I want to be there. I got you. But yeah, great show as usual, Shannon. Just always do a great job. Thursday's gonna be better. Now we can actually talk about the game plans and matchup, which is gonna be fun. Dave will be back on here. So yeah, like I said, everybody, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's here. We're in the final four, so it's like one more game to go, and we're in Vegas. It's that simple. Is this
Mhm.
and it's only fitting that we go through the defending champs because now we leave all doubt.
All
Because
doubt.
say if the Bills win, then say the Bills do win. Oh, they got lucky. Patrick Mahomes didn't win, so now
Right.
no, it's none of that. Now
No doubt.
we get the Peyton Manning had to get over that dragon in New England, and we going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's our time. Like I said, it's our time, man. Like I said, next year is not guaranteed. Ask the Eagles,
Yeah.
ask Philly, ask the Rams, ask Cincinnati. Even though they did get back to the championship game, but still, like
Please ask
it's
the
not
Ravens.
guaranteed.
We've experienced that we've won and then had not the same success the next season. We know. We know.
And so yeah, so it's you got to seize the moment because, like I said, next year, the always next year thing is just a thing for just a thing to keep you keep you up and keep you feeling good. But it's not going to be the same because you
Right.
don't just replay the AFC Championship game like Ray said. You got to start back from everything all over. So
Yeah.
yeah, we gotta seize the moment, man. Like, and I said, I think this team is locked and ready. Because people, even though we're going to be the favorites record wise and stat wise, but a lot of people still going to pick Patrick Mahomes because he's been there,
Oh
done
yeah.
that,
I mean, of course.
and rightfully so.
Rightfully
And yeah,
so. Right. Rightfully so.
I can't squawk about that because he's, like I said, 2 time Super Bowl champion. But and I think that plays in our favor because we're still going to feel like underdogs, low key.
Hmm.
Man, anything you want to say, Shannon, before I close it out?
I'm just happy that we have an episode on Thursday because that means we have a game this week, which means we won last week. So I'm just still happy
Absolutely.
about winning. I'm just happy about winning next week, and I can't wait to preview the game on Thursday.
Same here. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. So we'll see y'all Thursday. Same bad time, bad channel. Y'all know what trade means. Talk Ravens all day, every day from your host, Justin P. And my MVP co-host, Miss Shannon Finch. We will see y'all Thursday. And when we break down the AFC Championship game, and then like I said, Sunday is on and popping. Love y'all. We are out.
Good night.